Welcome back to Grappling in Thought. And today I want to talk about something that happens to all of us, those moments when we're doing something that we don't want to be doing. Maybe it's chores, homework, going to practice or working out, family obligations, going out with friends. You promised them you go, but when it came down to it, you don't want to go. It happens to all of us. And sometimes we can get tunnel vision and just get stuck on, don't want to be doing it. Why am I doing it? They're making me do it. I hate this. I'd rather not. I'd rather be doing this. And we just go on and on and on. And when we do that, we get stuck in this feeling and it's all negative. And what happens is the more we focus on that, the stronger that feeling gets. And so what can we do in that moment to change that, to not make it so miserable? We have more control than you realize. We either control our emotions and how we feel, or we let the outside world control it. It's not about turning the emotions off or pretending that you don't have specific feelings about a situation. It's not about ignoring your feelings, pushing them down. It's not about positive vibes only. It's not about any of that. It's actually acknowledging where you're at, saying, okay, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be doing this. Instead of just focusing on all the reasons why you don't like being there, you don't like doing it, or you wish you weren't, all that. It's about adding in another angle of how to look at the situation, looking at it from a different angle other than all the negative and the reasons why you don't want to be there or you don't want to be doing it or you don't like the situation. Especially if it's something that you can't change. You can't change it. So even when you're focused on how much you hate it and you don't want to be there, it doesn't change what's going on. And if you have to do it or you're doing it anyways, what's it do? Like when you get an attitude and you're pissed off and you're telling everybody why you shouldn't be doing it, what is that really doing? It's just reinforcing how you feel. It's not changing the situation. It doesn't make anything better. And so, and it's dampening your mood even more. It's ruining your day, your own peace. And so if we're doing it anyways and we can't control the situation, what about finding just one thing that eases that discomfort, eases the miserableness that you feel, makes it a little more enjoyable? When I'm waiting and I catch myself being impatient, I can take a deep breath. Okay, I'm being really impatient right now. I'm getting stressed out. I can feel it in my body. And I start just changing my focus instead of the focus just constantly being on this thought and the story in my head of where are they? If I'm waiting for somebody, or let's go, hurry up. Why is it taking so long? All the negative stuff that just increases the discomfort. I will change my focus. I'll people watch or I'll count something. Or a lot of times what I do more recently is just go really, really intentional on my breathing. So I'll take a deep breath through my nose and I feel it in my nose, feel it down my throat, into my lungs, and then breathe out through my nose or mouth and just feel it and really focus on that. That actually does two things. One, it calms you down. And two, it redirects your thoughts because you're not focused. So anything you can do it's just changing what you're paying attention to, because whatever we focus on grows. So if we're going to focus on how we feel and how we hate this and how we shouldn't be having to do this and why'd they make me do this and why, all the things, when we focus on that, it just increases and strengthens the negative feeling we have for it. So one of the techniques is just to Change what you're paying attention to. Change what you're focused on. It can be anything. Maybe it's like chores. Nobody likes doing chores. Let's just be honest. But when I catch myself and say, oh, I don't want to do the dishes, the kitchen's a disaster, blah, 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 and why is it so messy and all the things. But then I remind myself how much I love it when it's clean. And so it's just that tiny tweak of looking at it from another angle. Another example, when I did jujitsu or even just going to the gym, oftentimes it's the doing it, like actually going to the gym part that I'm like, I don't want to do it. I'm tired. I'm sore, whatever excuse, right? But I have never, ever once regretted going to training or going to the gym after I did it. And that's what I remind myself. When I don't want to do it, I remind myself that you're not going to regret it. You're actually going to regret not going more than going. Go. And then, and that helps because it's like, okay. And then it's a matter of just doing it. Mel Robbins actually has the 5-second rule. And so you literally just say, okay, I'm getting up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you get up. And counting it down, it actually redirects, kind of distracts your mind from focusing on why you don't want to get up or why you don't want to go to the gym or why you don't want to do XYZ. And that when you get to 1, it sort of motivates you or just makes you do it. It kind of is like, all right, do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go type of thing. And you get up and go. And it actually works. And that's because otherwise we can lay there or sit there and just really focus on why we don't want to do it or why we shouldn't go or why we shouldn't be doing this and focus on that. And so it's switching that view and changing your attention to something else. And so flexible thinking is about, it's, having that growth mindset and knowing that this is temporary. It's not permanent. It's more about, okay, I don't like doing this. I don't want to be doing this, but I can change the way I experience it. I can make it less miserable. I can make it tolerable. And that's all in how we look at it. It only ruins your own mood you can ruin other people's mood too by being crabby about it. Let's be real. But it's really ruining your peace when you resist the moment you're in. If you're in it, if you're doing it, if you're there and you're not going to change it, if you can't change it, you can't leave the situation, you have to accept it. I mean, you don't have to, but to protect your peace and be happier, you accept it and find a way to tolerate it, find a way to enjoy it. And you do that by just adjusting your angle of how you view it, just slightly. That's all you have to do is slightly change how you're viewing the situation. Because it's not about loving everything. You don't have to love everything, but you also don't have to suffer. You can find enjoyment in everything. You can find something to enjoy it or just tolerate it and not be so resistant to it. So often it seems people are, if they don't love it, then they absolutely hate it and they're miserable and they shouldn't be doing it and. But what about all this in the middle? If you're doing it anyways. Now, if you don't have to do it and you don't love doing it and you don't have to do it, don't do it. You have a choice. Now, you may have consequences for not doing it, and then you have to decide, is the consequence worse? And if it is, so then you say, okay, well, I'm going to do it, but I'm going to be miserable doing it. Why? Honestly, why? Why not say, okay, the consequence is worse, so I'm going to do it. And because I'm going to do it, I'm going to at least find some way to enjoy it to some extent. Just so I'm not so miserable and I'm not suffering so bad. Let me just find a way to make it a little easier on myself. And I will say too, like if it's doing something, say like chores, um, if you become very, very intentional and aware, it can be kind of fun because so I do dishes pretty regularly and I don't have a dishwasher. Hand washing them isn't always enjoyable. But when I get really, really aware, I will feel the soap on my hands, the suds and the warmth, and I can just be in really, really in the moment. And then I forget how much I don't like it. And so again, that's changing your attention onto something else. Okay, so I've kind of talked about different things you can do, and so I'll just run it down. But number one is catching yourself. That's always number one, because oftentimes we just kind of sink into this negative thoughts feeling of I don't want to be here, and you're not even aware of yourself doing it. You're just doing it because you're reacting to your emotions. But if you can catch yourself, okay, I don't want to be here right now. I don't want to be doing this. I don't like this situation. And I'm really focused on the negative right now and why I don't like doing it or don't want to be doing it. Take a deep breath and then accept where you're at. Okay, I don't want to be doing it, but I am doing it. It's happening regardless. And then choose one little shift and ask yourself, what's one thing that can make this easier for me? What part of this can I engage with? What's one small thing I don't hate about this? You're not searching for joy or happiness or loving it. That's not it at all, because we already accepted that you don't like doing it. You don't want to be there. We've already decided that. You've already acknowledged that. Now it's just to make it more tolerable so you're not so miserable. So it's just about finding that one thing that you can shift the view, change the angle a little bit and see it just slightly different. And then sometimes it even helps to actually change something, actually make an adjustment, resituate your body, turn music on or change your music, and then get curious and just talk to yourself like you would a friend. If a friend was going through this, how would you talk them through it? And talk to yourself that way. Remember, you have a friend within. You can always talk to them. And talk to them like you would if your best friend was sitting next to you and having an issue. How would you encourage them through it? And remind yourself, I don't want to be miserable. I'm doing this. I don't want to be miserable. So let me just figure out a way I can be here and not fight it. I don't have to resist this. I'm going to end with this. If you're doing it anyways, if the situation is happening anyways, you're in the midst of it, you get to choose. The choice is yours. If you're going to fight it the whole time and be miserable and suffer, or are you going to find a way to shift your view of it and change how you experience it? All right, leave me a comment below. Let me know what you guys think. And until next time, keep looking forward and try to adjust the way you view things sometimes.